Hello, hello, hello. I hope you can hear me. Um, Welcome to Polite Pups Academy Sunday Live, like we usually do. And we just make sure that I am on live on here. Yep, I am on.
Welcome to Polite Pups Academy.
Okay, all right. So today I'm going to be discussing what it takes to train your dog. So when you are first involved in like formal training, the first few days might seem kind of hard because you are learning some new movements or motions, and you're trying to teach your dog at the same time to read your body language. It may feel frustrating, but if you give up right away, then your dog is not going to get to where it needs to be, right? So giving up is not an option. People who are not committed, and if they're trying to change their dog's behavior, but you're not committed to training because you get frustrated very, very easily, you find that, oh man, I'm just, not I'm just going round and round in circles, or I'm just not getting it, then you need to get help in the sense that if you're working with a trainer, the trainer can show you exactly what you need to be doing. If you're working with an online trainer, this is where you're recording of the video and uploading so that your trainer can actually give you feedback, comment on it, so that you can fix what you're doing or maybe continue what you're doing because it works, right? You want to upload videos. Video feedback, when it comes to like online training, video feedback is like the number one way that your trainer will be able to see what you're doing. Now, if you're working one-on-one with a trainer or you're going to physical classes, you're still doing the training outside of the physical classes. And you're probably only going to meet your trainer once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on how you have it set up. Your trainer does not know what you're doing during the practice time itself, whether it's 7 days or 14 days. So in between there, if you're working with that trainer, ask that trainer whether or not they will accept training videos to give you feedback on. Because if you don't get feedback on when you are doing the practice itself with your dog, when you're doing the repetition, when you're trying to generalize it from the house to outside of the house to somewhere else, then there is no way for you to figure out whether you're doing it correctly or not, because your trainer is not right there with you. Now, if you're working one-on-one with a trainer and he or she is right there with you for that first lesson and seeing that, okay, well, this is what you need to do, and then that person have you do it, that's good for there and then. But then what happens the next day and the day after and the day after when you're doing it by yourself? If you're not getting feedback, you may potentially, all right, be not doing the correct thing when you're working with your dog. So that's why it's important for you to record your little training videos and ask for feedback, especially if you're not sure whether or not you're doing it correctly. Oftentimes, when we're learning something new, we might second guess ourselves. We might think, oh my gosh, this is not the right way at all, or it doesn't seem right, or maybe it is right, but it just seems so hard. And it's always that way. When you're working on something new, it's always going to seem hard. The one thing when you come into dog training, your mindset matters. Mindset meaning how you're going into that training will help your dog to achieve or not achieve, right? To succeed or not succeed. So my advice to everyone who is trying to help their dogs, especially if you have a reactive dog, a fearful, anxious, or reactive dog, when you go into training, you want to always think about your mindset. It needs to be clear. It needs to be, you need to not be frustrated. You need to tell yourself, you need to be in that Zen mode, kind of like if you do yoga, you go in with that very Zen mode, right? Or meditation even. You're not thinking about, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if this you're just going in and you're accepting it as it is and then go from there. But the one thing I always tell all my clients is that you need to remain cool, calm, and collected, because when you're frustrated, your dog is going to feel it. And when your dog feels it, it may think that you're getting mad at it, or it's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something wrong. And so it might shut down. It might be even more scared, and it might not respond positively to training. And so it is so important for you as the dog's handler and at that time training your dog to go into every dog training session with a good, clear mindset that is helpful for the dog as well as you. if you remember to breathe in, breathe out, inhale, exhale, right? And know that this is just, you're trying to teach your dog something. It may be okay, it may not be okay, and that's okay. All right. So you just want to always remember, though, when you end your training, you want to end on a positive note. The thing I find with some folks is that they'll learn something and then they'll do it and then they'll decide, oh, no, this is too hard. So my question to all of you who have, fearful, anxious, and reactive dogs, if you give up on your training when it gets too hard, then how are you ever going to help your dog be successful? You want your dog to be polite. You want your dog to be confident, right? How are you going to be successful with your dog if you're not willing to put in the work? So in our training, in both from Fearful Fido to Confident Canine, our training is just 6 modules because we're just doing on leash work. The on leash to off leash, technically it takes about 10 weeks. Okay. And not everybody gets invited to do the off leash work, because if you're not doing the on leash work up to par, right, that off leash work is going to be harder, and you need like extra weeks, right? The extra 4 to 5 weeks is not going to be sufficient. But the work that you do week to week to week to week matters. That commitment you give to your dog, you make for your dog, matters, because that's where you're going to get your dog from just learning the behavior and what they have to do to that repetition phase, right? And then after that to the generalizing to other places, not just in the house, not just in front of your house, not just at the back of your house, but to other places as well. And then you have to proof it, right? You have to include distractions so that your dog can still perform the same behavior and not being reactive to another dog in other places as well, not just in front of your house, not just at the back of your house, but in other places. So I'm just going to give you an example. So I did post it on my Facebook page as well as in my group. So Java was a dog that I had worked with a dog owner, and she had trouble. She found it challenging to walk him because he was reactive to all the dogs in the neighborhood, right? And so when we worked on him, he was on a head halty at first, either a head halty or a gentle leader, one of those, and we switched tools to the slip chain. All right. A lot of people might think that, oh, the slip chain is so harsh. It's not. When you're using it in the right, correct way, it is not harsh at all. And so I taught his owner how to use it correctly and all the different things. And now, this is several weeks later, probably about 2 months now, she can walk him around the neighborhood without him being reactive the way he was before he got the training. That's because she was committed to working with him daily. All right. Every time when she takes him for a walk, she would work on him. She would work towards counter conditioning him against the other dogs that he might see in the neighborhood, whether they're like in their fenced in areas. And, he used to like bark and like his heckles would be up and whatnot. He doesn't do that anymore. And she also knows what to do to prevent him from doing that. And then, we did a lot of proofing, like making sure that he will do the same things when he sees other dogs walking by his house. And then after that, take it further. And, they have done walks. Actually, most recently, they went on a hike, a Father's Day hike. And he was able to walk nicely with a dog that he has never met before that day. And then he passed all the other dogs that came by their way nicely as well. And that's a result of using the training method in that methodical way that I've taught and practicing. So it's not just using it, but practicing it and committing to the work that needs to be done for the dog, right? And so that's why this particular dog and owner is experiencing success. You too can find success. In Success Paws Club, we go through similar training. Actually, it's the same training. You have all the modules, and then after that, you will get weekly live Q&As on Wednesdays. And then you have once a month, we have a 60-minute session with everyone in the membership. All right, 60 minutes. We do like a hot seat. We answer questions, or I answer questions about what you may have issues with your dog and training. And then you get a theme of the month video as well. And that's all available in Success Paws Club. I am going to link the Success Paws Club page right after this so that you can click on it and you can see whether this might be something that you might be interested in. It's really, really great if you have that fearful, anxious, and reactive dog, and you want to help your dog be polite and confident. It works because the training is very systematically built, like training module 1 builds into 2, 2 builds into 3, 3 builds into 4, 4 into 5, and then 5 into 6. And 6 is really to get your dog used to that off-leash part. We don't really do the off-leash portion in here, but it is a separate course that will be offered to those who completed the 6 modules in a successful manner. So in order to see whether or not you have completed it in a successful manner, there are actually exams at the very end of each module that you have to submit a video to show me what your dog is doing with the commands that you're teaching and the movements and whatnot. And it's like everything is explained step by step by step. All right. So if you are interested in Success Paws Club and you have more questions, feel free to comment on here. If you're on Facebook page or group, you can comment. Same thing if you're on YouTube, you can comment on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and you have not subscribed, or if you're on Facebook watching this and you want to go to my YouTube channel, go ahead to my YouTube channel, Polite Pups Academy, hit on subscribe so that you'll be notified of videos whenever I post it. Sometimes I will be posting more videos, training videos on there. You can subscribe, you can like, and hit the bell as well so that you'll be notified. And with that, I leave you with the link for the Success Paws Club. I hope to see you in Success Paws Club. It will be open for a few more days. I think you have up till July 1st to sign up, which is Thursday. And then you should be off for your 4th of July weekend. All right. So take care and have a great rest of the Sunday. And remember, in order for you and your dog to succeed in training, you got to make that commitment to train your dog, and you got to give it more than just 3 or 4 days of training before you decide to give up. Like, most training, if it works, it is not a quick one. There are no quick fixes. So you need to put your heart into it. You need to put your time into it for you to see changes. And changes will come when you do a day in, day out work as listed in the training modules. All right, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.